Oh, the Montreal Canadiens, back at it again, eyeing a right-shot defenseman in the first round. Because the last time they did that, with David Reinbacher, the fan base was just bursting with excitement, right? The general sentiment was practically a parade of joy, not a collective groan about passing on Matvei Michkov. 2 years later, with Michkov already making his NHL debut and Reinbacher spending a chunk of his year recovering from a knee injury, it seems Montreal's cupboard of Bona fide top-tier right-shot blue liners is still looking a bit sparse. So, could Logan Hensler actually be the one to change that narrative and perhaps finally fill that elusive void without triggering another wave of draft day angst? The lingering echoes of the 2023 draft, where the Canadiens opted for David Reinbacher over the highly touted Matvei Michkov, still resonate deeply within the fan base and media circles. It was a decision that sparked intense debate, with many questioning the wisdom of prioritizing a defenseman, especially a right-shot one, when a perceived generational offensive talent was available. While the organization has consistently preached patience with Reinbacher, his injury-riddled season and Michkov's early NHL success haven't exactly quelled the skepticism. Yet the fundamental need for a strong, reliable right-shot defenseman remains a glaring hole in the Canadiens' long-term defensive cores. Currently, the team relies heavily on veteran presence like David Savard or left-shot defensemen like Mike Matheson playing on their offside. Prospects like Justin Barron, Lane Hudson left shot, and even Reinbacher himself are still developing. This persistent need is precisely where Logan Hensler enters the conversation as a potential first-round target for the Canadiens in the upcoming draft. Hensler is a substantial presence on the ice, standing at 6 feet 2 inches and weighing 190 pounds. This isn't just a number. It translates directly to his playing style. He possesses the ideal frame for a modern NHL defenseman, large enough to handle the physicality of the professional game, yet agile enough to keep pace with its ever-increasing speed. His size allows him to effectively box out opponents in front of the net, win battles along the boards, and deliver impactful hits when necessary. However, what truly elevates his physical attributes is the rare combination of size with exceptional mobility. For a player of his stature, Hensler skates remarkably well, characteristic that makes him a lethal combination in scouting parlance. This blend of power and grace on skates allows him to be effective in all three zones, transitioning quickly from defense to offense and maintaining tight gaps against opposing forwards. When it comes to scouting reports, Hensler presents an interesting case study with a range of opinions. Central Scouting, often seen as a baseline, places him at 12th among North American skaters. TSN's highly respected Bob McKenzie, who often reflects the consensus of NHL scouts, has him slightly higher at 11th. This indicates a strong belief in his potential among a significant portion of the scouting community. However, other prominent analysts like Craig Button 26th, Tanity 16th, and Tony Ferrari 21st offer a wider spread in their rankings. These discrepancies are not uncommon in draft classes and often highlight different scouting philosophies, or a prospect's perceived boom or bust potential. A wider range might suggest that while some scouts see a clear path to a top 4 role, others might have more questions about his offensive ceiling or consistency. For the Canadiens, this could mean an opportunity to draft a player with top 15 talent potentially later in the first round. If he falls due to these varying opinions, Hensler's elite skating is arguably his most valuable asset and a cornerstone of his game. It's not just about straight-line speed. It's his agility, edge work, and ability to change directions effortlessly that truly stand out. In today's NHL, where forechecking is relentless and transition play is paramount, a defenseman's ability to escape pressure, retrieve pucks quickly, and initiate breakouts is crucial. Hensler's fluid skating allows him to do all of this with remarkable efficiency. Can pivot quickly to defend against rushes, recover lost pucks in his own zone, and seamlessly join the offensive attack as a fourth forward. This mobility also makes him incredibly difficult for opposing forwards to beat wide, as he can mirror their movements and maintain excellent defensive positioning. For a team like the Canadiens that emphasizes speed and transition, Hensler's skating would be a massive asset, allowing him to thrive in a system that values puck movement and quick exits from the defensive zone. Beyond his skating, Hensler's defensive play is solid and well-rounded. He's comfortable and effective in puck battles, consistently using his size and strength to gain possession along the boards and in front of the net. His long reach is another significant defensive tool, allowing him to break up plays in the neutral zone, intercept passes, and effectively poke-check opponents. He understands how to leverage his physical attributes to separate players from the puck and clear the crease. Furthermore, his excellent defensive blocker ability suggests a player who is adept at getting in shooting lanes, sacrificing his body and preventing dangerous shots from reaching the net. This willingness to block shots, combined with his physical engagement, makes him a difficult defenseman to play against. His defensive awareness and positioning are also strong, indicative of a player who reads the game well and anticipates plays, while his offensive numbers in his freshman year at Wisconsin weren't eye-popping. There's a strong consensus that Hensler's offensive game is still largely untapped. In 32 games, he recorded 12 points, 2 goals, and 10 assists. For a freshman defenseman, these numbers are respectable, but they don't scream offensive dynamo. However, the context is crucial. He played on a relatively weaker Wisconsin team, which often meant fewer offensive opportunities and more defensive responsibilities. This can suppress a defenseman's point totals. What scouts see are the raw tools. His elite skating allows him to carry the puck and join the rush. His puck skills are good, and he possesses the vision to make intelligent passes. He has the potential to develop into a reliable puck-moving defenseman who can contribute on the power play, perhaps as a quarterback on the second unit. His offensive ceiling might not be that of a Cale Makar or Quinn Hughes, but he certainly has the potential to be a consistent 30 to 40-point defenseman who can drive play from the back end. Given time and development, especially in a more offensively oriented system, his offensive game could truly blossom. Hensler's first year at the University of Wisconsin provided a valuable learning experience. He showed consistent improvement throughout the season, a crucial indicator of a player's adaptability and willingness to learn. The transition from junior hockey to the NCAA level is significant, particularly in terms of speed and physicality. Hensler's ability to adjust and improve as the season progressed speaks volumes about his hockey sense and coachability. While his point production was modest, his focus was clearly on adapting to the pace and refining his defensive game. Playing on a weaker team meant he likely faced more defensive zone time and less opportunity to showcase his offensive creativity, which could explain why his untapped offensive potential wasn't fully on display. This experience, however, has likely prepared him well for the next steps in his development. Whether that's another year in college or a move to professional hockey, the fit with the Montreal Canadiens, it's where Logan Hensler becomes a truly compelling prospect. As previously discussed, the team's need for a right-shot defenseman is undeniable and remains a top priority for general manager Kent Hughes. While David Reinbacher is in the system, relying on just one prospect to fill such a critical role is risky. Having multiple high-potential right-shot defenseman in the pipeline provides depth and increases the odds of one or more panning out. Hensler's development timeline would likely involve another year or two in the NCAA, followed by time in the AL with the Laval Rocket, aligning well with the Canadiens' ongoing rebuild. This patient approach would allow him to fully develop his offensive game and refine his defensive instincts before making the jump to the NHL. Hensler's profile also aligns perfectly with the organizational philosophy that Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton have been building in Montreal. They emphasize drafting players with high hockey IQ, strong character, and elite skating abilities. Hensler ticks all these boxes. His high hockey IQ allows him to read the game at an advanced level, making smart decisions quickly, a trait highly valued in today's fast-paced game. His work ethic and willingness to play a complete game speak to his character. And of course, his elite skating is a foundational skill that the Canadiens are actively seeking in their prospects. This alignment suggests that Hensler would be a natural fit within the team's developmental system and culture. When considering the Canadiens' draft strategy, especially with potentially multiple first-round picks, including their own and potentially another from a trade, Hensler represents a strategic choice. If he is available at 16th overall, he could be seen as a best player available pick who also fills a critical organizational need. This allows the Canadiens flexibility with their other picks to address other areas, such as a second-line center or another forward.